Hey guys, happy Sunday. It's Brandon. Nice day out. Came out here to my little park. There's some people up in my little Stonehenge area, so I figure I'd come down here to this other little bench here and hang out and chat a little bit. So one of the things that I felt compelled to make a video about today is how it's so easy to not know how good you have it, because you've got these big goals to achieve something and you feel like life isn't going your way, but life ends up taking you, can take you, I should say. And I firmly believe that it's if you have a lot of self-discipline and you kind of follow that voice inside you of like what's the right thing to do, which is hard to sort out a lot of times, but if you really follow that, this life's a pretty magical place. So I always felt like I was trapped in my younger years, which I'm going to get into more stuff about who I really am and different things in some coming episodes. But really, long story short, I always felt really trapped. And hindsight, this time of year, this August, September, has always been the time of year for me that's always been like new beginnings. And 9 times out of 10, those new beginnings were always out of distress, where the old existence wasn't going to work anymore. It wasn't on the table. It wasn't an option to me anymore. When I was growing up, my parents constantly moved to different houses all through grade school, so I was never in one school for more than 2 years in a row. Sometimes I was only in a school for 1 year, so I was constantly having to make new friends, and I think I did a lot better at it than I gave myself credit for. A lot of it was in my mind, but I was deep down, it's like I was insecure. Even though I was secure in certain ways, we're all insecure. I mean, guys, I've dated like 11s, supermodels that could be Victoria's Secret models, which I'll eventually get into one day, and as I do these episodes potentially. But very intelligent girls too. They're not just a set of legs and then a dummy up top. They're very intelligent girls that you could take to dinner with some billionaire. They actually go on dates with billionaires, you see what I'm saying? So where was I going with that? Everybody's insecure. Those girls at the end of the day were insecure. Everybody's insecure to some degree and they don't know it. It's like a constant progression. So anyhow, as I look back on my life, I've had a lot of opportunities. I used to have a gas card when I was in high school and college years. I had a gas card, so I had free gasoline. And that was the only thing I had for free. I didn't get free food. I didn't get money given to me for free, but I had a gas card. And so that influenced the way that I reasoned, because when I would get bored, I'd just jump in my car and go drive. And I don't have that anymore. Haven't had that for over a decade. But the point is, that definitely created an awesome habit for me where it's like I just get in my car and go someplace. And I will say this, that video that I put up yesterday was a little bit over the top. It was a little bit embellished, exaggerated, some slight mistruths. It's a pretty deep topic. And the reason why I have any interest in the topic at all is because I realized that this technology that I've invented, it solves a lot of problems, like the double spend issue and just tons of different things. It solves a lot of problems that a lot of cryptocurrencies have not efficiently solved. They're very cumbersome. So what I have is like the GT40, the Ford GT40. It's just like this revolutionary thing that just works better than anything before it. And every time that I'm about to file the patents on what I have, and launch this thing, it's like life takes me in another direction. It's like, no, you're not ready yet. That's the best way that I can describe the feeling that I have in my stomach is, no, you're not ready yet. And it's not me trying to be scared. I'm very unscared. Like, don't get me wrong, like, fear is a real thing, and I know how to cope with fear. Like, when you're driving around curves in the mountains at 1.2 lateral Gs at 100 mile per hour, 70 miles per hour, whatever it is, you have fear. You know, those who just say, oh, you're fearless. No, there's fear. You don't want to die. You don't want to go in the woods, but you're constantly making calculations, intelligent as possible calculations, to stay below whatever you calculate to be your max envelope so that you can stay alive. So I don't mind tough situations. I feel my way around in the dark. I go in, figure things out. The issue is, so it's not me, and I'm not just saying that, it's not me. It's this other feeling of you are in danger. You have no clue. And it's like, I even know that it's dangerous what I'm going to do. I'm up for the challenge. And that voice inside me is just like, you are not ready and you are going to fail. And if you fail at this, it's not just skin off your back, it's skin off the whole world's back, because what you have is a responsibility. And so anyway, so over the years I realized over a decade ago that whoever releases, I knew before 2012, I think, whoever releases, I've known since I was a little kid that whoever releases one currency that the whole world adopts falls into the antichrist category. I've known that forever. But what I didn't realize was that, are these people really going to walk up behind me? So what I realized was, what's going on, guys?
Looking for my brother's tree.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this your brother's tree?
No.
Okay.
Right here.
Oh, did they chop it down?
I hope not. They did my dad's. I'm supposed to replant something.
So are you related to the family then who put this place together?
No.
Oh. Anyway. People were like 2 feet away from me, like standing next to me, like they didn't know I was talking, and I just thought they were being rude, but they're looking for their brother's tree, which is his memorial. So I got polite again, because that's a legitimate reason to walk up on somebody, I guess. So anyway, so I want to be clear, this one currency thing is a very complex topic, because normally whoever controls the one currency then can enslave the world, because they're in control of printing the new money, and when they give the new money to themselves for free, they can consume resources without having to trade goods with the rest of mankind, so they are the ultimate slave master. So if the Jewish elite and the other people who put together these, and even before them, if the people who put together the Bible and all these different things talked about whoever controls the one world currency is a bad person, assuming, because right now there's a system where there's multiple different currencies, and each land has like its own currency. Like China has its own currency, Russia has its own currency, Europe has its own currency, right? South America, Africa, each country has their own currencies. So it's like a balance, so to speak. So America, originally it was Great Britain who had the world reserve currency before America, and then America took over, and that gives us a huge advantage where the rest of the world's our slaves. But the point is, so there's a valid reason why you would threaten that whoever creates one currency the whole world adopts is a bad person, because they now have too much power. Now, if there was a revolutionary way to invent a currency where not even the person who created it could utilize it to enslave the rest of the world because the way that it's constructed, and it's the most fair currency you've ever seen. Now we're into the second category, which is where the current elites who benefit from money printing globally would then have a problem with this other stage of one world currency, okay? And therefore, the only way that they could stop such a thing from dominoing, because the masses would absolutely fall in love with the idea that someone's invented something that can't be used to enslave them any further with inflation. The elite's only defense to that is to take the antichrist prophecy and really smear it across the airwaves and really push it as an agenda to keep everybody scared of whoever releases this currency. So I've known for a long time that if and when I release this thing, it's going to be hellfire against me. Attack of my character, attack of my credibility, everything else. So this whole Corvette thing has been me just kind of it's just been an exercise. It's been, before I was here, let's take on this challenge of going up against GM and all their puppets, which I can see are there. Let's see how many percentage of the population of the Corvette community can see through what's going on versus how many can't. How many are smart enough to see the importance of having the DCT not break down on you while you're driving in a high-speed turn, so it either needs 2 extra quarts or a dry sump format of the fluid pickup system, which is what GM eventually does in the 2023s. But all the people with 2020s through 2022s, they don't seem to care. They still are in a death machine. They don't seem to care that they could get killed at any time in a high-speed turn. Unless they have the 2 quarts, of course, but so many people said I was lying about that. And then the filters clogging early, all these different things. So this has all just been warm-up round for me. It's just been an exercise to kind of pass the time. And I value my freedom, a lot. My free time. Time to sleep when I want to sleep. Time to think when I want to think. I learned more shit just scrolling through Facebook. They call it the death scroll when you just sit there and scroll. Guys, when I was a kid, I used to read encyclopedias. There were different kinds of encyclopedias. There were ones with like pictures that were like for kids, but it was still like technical stuff, but it just had more pictures in it than just words. I used to love to read encyclopedias and see how everything works, and Popular Mechanics and the Discovery Channel, anything and anything that I could learn how things worked. I was always interested in conversations where adults were talking about business. I wanted to know how things worked. Any business, what do you do? How do you get paid? What generates you more money? What generates you less money? How do the other people in your company get paid? I mean, I was always interested in what was going on. And I was fortunate because my stepdad and both of my grandfathers on each side of the family, they were very intelligent people. And so anyway, but again, I've been forced into so many new beginnings that I'm like a kind of like a Ben Franklin, where it's like I've done a lot of different things. And so I can play with the heavyweights in any given topic. And being secluded from people is actually a blessing in disguise, I've realized. When I really started working on my patents, like in 2012, 13, 14, 15, in that era, I thought it would be done back then. I thought I would put in like a year, maybe 2 years tops of super hard work, and then I'd be a millionaire, multi-millionaire, if not billionaire, hands down, because I knew what I had. Other technologies doesn't have to do with the currency, but they all link together, obviously. But anyway, because currency links to everything. So as that unfolded, I kept getting this like distraction inside me where it's like I couldn't focus, and it wanted me to think about physics. And I remember I had this urge to like figure out, what is gravity? Now, let's be clear. Isaac Newton calculated what the force of gravity is at different distances from different masses, but he never explained to the public, which I think he did know, because Isaac Newton was really fucking smart, guys. Like, he's smarter than Einstein. Isaac Newton was off the charts smart. He invented calculus. Okay, he just like invents shit for the fuck of it, just because he's like, he needed it to do something. But the point is, nobody has explained properly what gravity actually is. And then once I saw that the Earth is actually growing and that that's kept secret, and that's like one of the conspiracies. There's a guy by the name of Neil Adams. If you type in Neil Adams, Earth is growing on YouTube, you'll see the little 10-minute long video where he shows that the Earth is growing. And once I figured that out, that Earth and every star and every planet like Jupiter, every moon, everything with the fusion core, where the core is ignited and the planet's creating its own heat. And typically you can tell that because if the planet has a magnetic field, it has a fusion core. The fusion core is what's actually creating the magnetic field, which scientists don't teach the masses this yet, but I'm pretty sure people know this at the higher levels. That's kept classified. But the point is, in those cores, the atomic components are actually multiplying because they're feeding. And that's all I'm going to say, because otherwise I'm going to explain it all, and it's not meant to be in the public. But the point is, I figured out what gravity is. I know what gravity is. I know it creates the actual force. And the stuff that Einstein created just took everybody to left field so far. And Bohr and all these guys, just total fucking Schrodinger, just total fucking bullshit. Which is good. It's all magic tricks. Like, they knew what they were doing. And so I've realized that there's like this elite guard, if you will, that watches over the planet, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with the super bankers, because if you think about it, JP Morgan used to hang out with Tesla. They were always hanging out in the fancy restaurants together, and Tesla was always invited over for dinner anytime, and they were always just chatting about stuff. The bankers are like the ultimate gatekeepers. The super billionaire families, trillionaire families, they're the ultimate gatekeepers about what technology sees the light of day or not. They can assassinate you if they don't want you to exist. They can put you on a project and turn you into a lab rat in some government lab where you have no life. Or they can invite you to dinner. But anyway, they're schemers. They're very, very intelligent people. Extremely, extremely intelligent. It's just breeding. They're mating with the most intelligent women from the most intelligent, wealthy families, and so they've got really good DNA. We'll put it that way, as far as problem solving is concerned. So when there's X factors like myself who just come out of the woodwork, it's a bit of a scare to them, to say the least. I'm going to go ahead and end that video. That video is long enough. See ya.